Last time on Dice Funk.
Drop off preserves and books outside of Warden Light's tower once a week or something like that.
True naming something isn't the same as just casting magic on it. Magic is setting something on fire. True names are like the actual burning.
He's got a daughter up there.
Yeah, nice kid.
I want to cast Disguise Self.
There we go.
I just want to be with my family.
While you may have lost one member of your family, you might have gained one and potentially two members of your family just outside this mirror.
This young girl's already lost one father. Don't make her lose a second.
And then Mars just sort of looks to the angel, and then he sort of lunges in to just hug him.
If you want to know what the Aurora is, just ask her.
The Aurora itself.
The Triad sent us here with this tower because they're scared. The gods are scared of this thing, the Aurora, things like it. They can't even come close to harming it, to threatening it. All we can do is hold it in place. That's what this tower is. All right, so we're playing Dungeons and Dragons this week to mix it up a little bit.
Are we going to see either a dungeon or a dragon this week?
Absolutely not. Never. That is a promise I made early in the history of this show, which is there shall be no dragons and no dungeons. Not necessarily in that order. But although I was accused of breaking that promise when Zoe got turned into a dragon, but it's my contention that she was a half-elf in the shape of a dragon, which is legally distinct.
Well, you are the expert on animal law.
I soon will be. I don't know if any of this is salvageable. Also, total whiplash incoming in 3, 2, 1, because you guys were watching an angel have a panic attack at the end of the last episode, which is where we still are. So get all your jokes out now, because he's not having a great day, and that's still the room you're in.
I thought that was pretty hilarious, though, but okay, whatever. I guess standards of comedy change every day.
Yikes.
Whatever. Yikes.
That reveals a lot about Skitch.
Yeah, I love suffering.
It doesn't reveal anything about me. Anyway, let's...
Wasn't he not having a panic attack now because Roland made him brave?
Yeah, so the scene actually ended with Roland imbuing him with heroism, which gave him enough stability to reveal something to you. And although it's not 100% clear what's going on, you now have the idea that the Aurora is something which can be communicated with, which is probably the biggest break in the mystery of the season so far. That's where you guys are, and I'll kind of start this scene with the note that with all the ruckus, all the chains and the smashing and the yelling, Martis Valaman and Grace Rosemary come downstairs to see what's going on, and they see Warden Light kind of struggling to his feet, breathing heavily as Roland helps him up by the arm, and everyone is trying to lend their support to this person who's clearly in a bad place right now, but he is no longer smashing things, which is a good start.
Light, you're saying that the barrier's alive. Do you know what it is?
Sister Veltari, I don't know if alive is the right word. All I know is it's above us, and I was sent here because the gods are scared, and it took a long time to really process that, and I didn't want to know it anymore, and now I know it again. You shouldn't know this either. It's too much. It's too much to know.
We're not the kind of people to stress too much about anything. Like, I'm pretty sure we can do okay with this knowledge. This is useful knowledge. We're probably not gonna sit stressing about this. Look, we'll get this out of your head again. We'll take this burden off of you. But I have one question, and I don't know if you're gonna know an answer to this. Just random question off the top of my head. Do you know if the barrier is a celestial, an elemental, a fae, or a fiend?
just for example,
Just for example, do you know if it might fit into one of those categories?
Here's what I'll say. A lot of you guys have the ability to detect stuff, and it never set off anybody's detectors. And also for 50 years, every force in heaven and in hell has been trying to figure out what it is, and no one has figured it out, which means it's not something that can be easily discovered. Someone would have figured it out by now.
It's not something that could be conveniently bound to my service with a single spell or anything, no? Okay.
Unfortunately not, although that would be incredibly cool.
Is there anything else you can tell us before we wipe your mind again?
When we made that arrangement, I fully intended on following through with it. I was honest at the time. However, circumstances have clearly changed. There is no putting the genie back in the bottle on this one, I'm afraid.
I don't know. I reckon we can still put that genie back in the bottle. Go on, we'll give it a whirl.
He says, now I have Martis here to help protect my family. The arrangement we had has changed. You may go. I will honor my promise to allow Alice into her husband's mirror, but our business here is done.
I'm not sure this is how handshake deals work, but sure, I guess.
Dora shrugs.
Okay. Do we want to go?
Light seems to be like both in like physical and psychological pain, and at this point, like Grace and Martis are like helping support him, and it just seems like he just wants to go to bed. Like, I don't know if you guys have had like the roughest day you've ever had. He's had that times 100. He actually probably just says to you, if anybody comes to threaten Grace, they will meet Martis's steel and my chains and either death or mirror. That's all that matters now. Do with the information you have gathered what you will, and I will defend my family.
Okay.
There's two things we gotta do now, I guess. So there's the small scale stuff. There's, go get Alice, get her put in the mirror with her husband, go tell Penny, she's in the mirror now, it's great, And then there's the whole, let's go talk to the barrier. Where do we want to start? Do we deal with the barrier first or second?
I think that it would be best to take care of the business that we know has a point of closure first.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
The barrier doesn't seem like it's gonna, attack us anytime soon.
Certainly not going anywhere.
If it could do anything, you'd think it'd do it now.
All right, it sounds like you guys are going to go to Hawthorne House. So leaving Warden Light and his family behind to convalesce, you guys head out of the sacrum and start heading across the fields of Ilium. In the distance, you see Hawthorne House, but coming at a angle towards you, you also see the rocks, Claudia Rock and Robin Rock, and they are walking to intercept you with purpose.
Uh-oh.
Dora runs over there. Just speeds over there.
All right. Claudia hugs you, but kind of biz cash. Like you get like a side hug as she's still clearly on a mission to talk to the Avant Guards. And Robin does like a gooey kind of flourish. He does like a spinning whirlwind kind of thing, but doesn't actually make contact with you. But it's like an affectionate gesture. Like, Dora's here.
Hey, guys.
Hi, Dora.
What's up?
Well, I gotta talk to your coworkers, roommates. I don't know. Your guys, your dudes.
Okay. Yo, dudes.
The two groups meet, and Claudia has a look on her face already. And I know Theodora is absolutely oblivious to it, but the rest of the Avant Guards are not. And it's not a good facial expression.
What seems to be the situation, Claudia?
Hey, Rolen. I got a weird story to tell you. Just an anecdote. Do you have time? Are you guys busy?
I think we can spare a moment, at least.
Okay. So here's a weird thing that happened to me. A ways back, we needed a refrigerator, the icebox for our house. You remember you put your friend in it?
Mm-hmm.
So in order to get that, I went to Penny's and I traded some stuff. One of the things I traded was an old bit of lab equipment, so a magic enhancing bangle.
Right.
And so I haven't really thought about it since I traded it. It's not really a big deal. I didn't have any sentimental value or anything. But then I heard from Penny that she'd been robbed and a bunch of her stuff went missing.
Mm.
I looked at the manifest and I was like, oh, hey, my bangle was among it. Was among the stuff taken. That's super convenient because I can just use locate item because I'm super familiar with my own stuff. And so I followed the signal, and she reaches into her messenger bag and pulls out all the stuff that Veltari had squirreled away in Avant Guards headquarters. And she begins dropping the items one at a time onto the ground in front of you. And she says, so I followed the signal to your house, and I found not just my stuff, but it looks like all the stuff that's missing.
So, have you spoken to Penny about this yet?
No, not yet. I went over there, and she told us the stuff was missing, and then I followed it. My first thought was to find Dora, because Dora promised that she would help if, well, something like this happened.
Look, don't get the rest of this lot tangled up in this. If anyone's going down, it's me. I'm gonna be straight with you. I stole Penny's stuff. Wasn't trying to steal all of it, was trying to steal one gem to try and take control of Warden Light in an attempt to take down the barrier. No one likes the barrier, trying to get rid of it. Wasn't a great thing to do, but I did steal from Penny. None of them were involved. It's all on me.
All right, well, you said a lot of things there.
Yeah.
Some of which I don't care about, and some of which I care about very much. You said nobody likes the barrier. I don't know if you've noticed, but there are a lot of refugees here who count on the barrier for their safety.
Yeah.
Including me, and including Robin, as we are wanted criminals in the outside world.
Yeah.
And if you bring down the barrier, I will kill you. In addition, the new leader of the Lilies promised, in exchange for cleaning up this mess with Penny, she would fix Robin. So you're coming with us. So
Look, team, you keep doing this. I'm going with them. I will do what I have to do. You get on top of this, okay?
Okay. Thanks for not making me choose between you and my couple.
It's fine. I'm not gonna tear a throuple apart. It's fine. Look, I did this. I'm not gonna deny that, and we'll see what I can do.
Roland's going to interject before the rocks take Veltari away and simply asks, even if you do this for Claire, do you have any assurance that she can actually deliver on her promise?
I haven't seen her do it, Claudia says, but Claire says she can polymorph. Apparently it's a sorcerer spell.
It's not one that I know, so maybe it's something she learned later or from Lady Nim.
So we started this campaign at level 6, and sorcerers get access to polymorph at level 7. So as soon as the Hawthorne House mission was done, at any time, Zoe could have fixed Robin. My in-character understanding is that it just never occurred to Zoe, which is fine, but I'm curious how she feels about the realization that she just never considered it, because she could have fixed Robin near the beginning of this campaign, because polymorph is available to sorcerers at level 7.
Can Roland think on the polymorph spell that they just mentioned for a moment, because there might be something a little off about that.
Yeah, Arcana check?
It's 12?
Yeah, 12 isn't great, but you know that polymorph changes something's shape, but you also know it's super limited. The biggest limitation is that it's super temporary.
Mm-hmm.
It only lasts an hour. So at the 12, you think that this isn't actually a great long-term solution to Robin's problem.
If her solution involves polymorph, it's not a solution that's going to last for any meaningful period of time.
Dora's gonna be like, shh, no, don't say that.
Claudia says, I would kill all of you here if it meant I got to hold my husband again.
I know, Claudia. Like, they don't get it, but you got her.
I'm just being clear. I understand it's not the end of our problems, but if you're going to try to lecture us about it not being perfect, I'm sorry, but I'll take what I can get.
I'm saying it's not even in a realm of being discussed about being perfect, but...
All right, who's coming with us? Claudia grabs Veltari by the arm.
Zoe will come with.
I put up 0 fight here, at least at this second.
Okie dokie. So Veltari and Zoe are going to go to Tarsus to be thrown on the mercy of Claire Elise Legrand, leader of the Lilies, and presumably Rolen and Theodora are going to go on ahead to Hawthorne House to deliver the news to Alice. So let's continue this narrative thread and go to Tarsus because Rolen and Theodora are going to have to go through skeleton security. So that's happening in the meantime.
Yeah.
On the way there, though, I think if this hasn't really occurred to Zoe yet, it's probably now when it happens that Zoe, I don't know if you've ever thought about the polymorph spell, but you did have access to it. Do you have any feelings about that? I know this isn't like something you would necessarily say out loud. I'm just curious for the emotional texture of the scene.
It's one in a line of things Zoe's realized she hasn't really thought all the way through.
Okay.
This would probably hit harder if this were like the one instance of where she's been kind of misthinking on her approach to everything, but she's sort of realized just about every decision she's sort of made since she's come to Ilium has sort of been the wrong one. So it's sort of just another sort of piece on the pile right now.
Okay, so it's a like regret of 1,000 cuts, basically. It's just at this point, it's just all bad.
She feels bad, although she's also recognizing that from Roland's explanation, it's not a permanent solution, and she would much rather find a permanent one. So it's not as though she's like, oh, what a depressive world I live in. Every mistake I make is my own or anything like that. But she can't, like, she's not crushed by it because she's just used to these sort of moments where she realized she hasn't been doing things right. And she's trying to think bigger picture on everything right now.
I imagine a lot of this walk starts off just in awkward silence of no one really saying anything. But at some point, I just kind of want to blurt out to them, I did this whole robbery trying to take control of Warden Light, and I've realized that is probably not a thing I should do.
Claudia says, I'm really happy for you and your personal growth. Anyway, and she shoves you through the door into Tarsus.
Didn't expect that to change anything, but neat. I felt the need to say it.
Well, you are pushed across Tarsus. Zoe's kind of lagging behind. She's not really under arrest. And you guys are taken to what used to be Lady Nim's outer office. Obviously, the inner office has disappeared, but it is now Claire's office, although very sparsely decorated. She just kind of moved in. It's just like a table, a chair, and a knickknack or two. She doesn't really have a lot of stuff. She just came into existence like a month ago. But she's sitting in her chair and like picking at her teeth, and you guys walk in and she's like, oh, sorry. I'm looking very official. Look, I have my hands steepled and I'm very ready for a cool meeting time. Hi.
I just kind of silently stand there for a second, just not sure how to start.
All right. So Claire looks to Zoe and says, what'd you do?
I'm not actually here for something that I did. For once, actually, but I'm here to represent my friend who is here for a reason.
Hey, so
Hi.
I robbed Penny. That's a thing to get out of the way. I'm just gonna do the thing. Honesty's apparently a thing that works. I'm gonna lay this all out on the table for you, and let's see how this goes. Let's see whether the goody two-shoes method is worth its salt. I robbed Penny. My intention was to take control of Warden Light and get him to take down the barrier. Didn't work out like that.
Claire says, wow, okay, well, you unloaded a lot there. Penny wants her stuff back, and she wants your head. And I'm in a weird position because I just became the leader, and I can't seem like a candy ass on day 2. So I really want to come through, but I also don't want her to eat your face. Or put you in a mirror. She gets in moods. But
is it something where we could talk to Penny, Claire? Perhaps if she sees that she's gotten her stuff back and maybe Veltari can do some sort of penance to her?
Community service?
Yeah, or I don't know, gives her $1. I don't know, whatever Penny finds that would just be an equatable way of kind of washing her hands of this without any need to involve mirrors or face eating.
At this point, Claudia actually breaks in and says, the only way this ends is with us getting what we were promised. So I just want that to be clear to everyone in the room. And Claire says, yeah, I mean, I have spell slots to spare. You're fine on that. Also, spell slots are a thing that I know about in universe, just in case anybody's curious if that's Anyway, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to stop you from talking to Penny. Can you make it seem like I was really cool and made you do it? Like, can I punch you or something?
No.
Punch yourself?
Punch me in the face if you want. I'm gonna take it.
Yeah, we have to make it look like I'm I'm the new Nim. And
You don't need to keep explaining it. Punch me in the face already.
What's a good force spell?
It's magic missile.
All right, fine. And they don't miss. So so Claire says, all right, tell them I was really cool. And then she fires a magic missile into your face, Veltari.
How much damage do I take?
13.
That's maybe a third. That's like a little under a third of my health.
Okay.
It's a third, maybe a quarter of my health.
Okay. Claire says, all right, so you're a bard, so you can sell this, right? Go throw yourself on Penny's mercy.
Yeah, I can sell this.
So tell me how you do that. So you get punched in the face with 3 magic missiles, bloodying you up a bit.
Okay, so I go up to the shop. I'm initially assuming alone. Is anyone following me? Is anyone coming up as well?
The rocks are going to stay behind for their reward. Zoe's on her own.
Zoe can go with you if you wanted to go alone, but if you wanted somebody who's like
If you want to stay like outside the room in case it sounds like things are going badly.
Sure.
Do I have Penny's stuff to bring back to her, or has that been given to
Oh, the rocks hand you the stuff because they know the plan.
Okay. So I'm gonna take the stuff up to Penny, and I'm just gonna walk straight in and dump the stuff down on the table.
Penny looks up at you. She was sharpening a knife behind the counter, and she sees you throw 4 magic items and a spell component down on her table, and she says, "Huh, I honestly thought it was going to be the squid, but okay."
Hey, Penny. This is new territory for me, so I just do the same as I've done before. I honestly lay on the table to her, lay out for her what I was planning, why, and what I did.
Okay, so I thought this was going to be a dramatic episode in which Theodora had to pick between her friends and her lovers, and then there would be a dramatic confrontation, and Veltari would have to fight her way out, and she just goes around apologizing to everyone.
You got to keep in mind, it's a long con. You don't want to reveal the twist too early, so just let it develop.
Exactly. Give me some breathing room. There's 2 things going on here. There is like someone forgave me and that's meaningful, and also parent issues that arose with Light and Child. There's also, honesty is the way to start this, and we'll see what consequences come of that, and I'll deal with those as they come.
Here's a big consequence, because this is, I think, an important moment in your arc, and maybe it's kind of gauche to point that out, but...
Yeah, I'm aware.
So here's what I'm going to do, is say you can do a persuasion check to sell your apology to Penny, or you can acknowledge how far you've come and who Veltari is now, and change your alignment to reflect this new world view, in which case you will not need to make a check. She will understand that you are sincere. But if you want to remain chaotic evil, then there needs to be a part of this, which is grift.
This is a big decision, because
Yep.
I'm going to talk this through a little bit, because legitimately I think that there is some sincere change that happened around Roland's apology. Roland's forgiveness.
Yeah, I think it's been a long time coming. I wouldn't have asked for this just when he gave you the sword, but between this and the Grace stuff, I think this has been a long time coming. This conversation, at least.
Yeah, the big thing for me with the Grace stuff, and this is something I've not really talked about a lot, but Veltari's really not got much in the way of supportive parents was never a thing she had.
Mm-hmm.
She never knew one parent, and the other parent abandoned her pretty soon, and Veltari had been so hell-bent on this idea of use anyone you have to do what you've got to do. And if that meant use Warden Light... Veltari's plan was use Warden Light and dispose of him or incapacitate him or kill him at the end because, otherwise he's probably going to kill you or lock you in a mirror for something you can never escape from. And this whole realization of, oh, he's a parent with a kid and he really cares about his kid just kind of threw Veltari a bit. The whole way through this episode, I think Veltari has been walking a very thin line between do I turn this into a long con at some point? Like, there have been points in this episode where I've been considering, do I leave Claire go up to Penny and be like, oh yeah, I got these from Alice Hawthorne, who's in a mirror by now. Like, do I do that lie there? And just me of like 4 or 5 episodes ago, easy, no questions about it. And the fact that I am struggling with this choice suggests that switching alignment is probably the way to go.
That's the long con was on herself, I see.
No, like, I kept going through this episode being like, oh, this is the point where, like, it will feel right for Veltari to do the like, pull the rug out from under everyone. And I had plans to do it, and it just didn't feel right for Veltari, so this isn't a con. This is... I think she just legitimately is gonna deal with the consequences.
The real con was the friends we made along the way.
You cut me off. I was totally going to say something like that.
Oh god. Okay, that's a thing I did. So where would I move, I suppose?
Yeah, I mean, it's up to you. It's your character. Do what feels right for you.
I feel like...
I mean, you're still very chaotic.
Yeah, I feel like chaotic neutral is the place to go.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think this is definitely still chaotic, and I don't think this is a moment that shifts, like, from evil to good.
Alright, good, right, but...
Yeah, but I think a shift to chaotic neutral feels right.
So you plop the items down, and you apologize and explain with sincerity, and Penny sees it on your face, and she says, what the hell am I gonna do with you? I can't just cut you up in front of all the customers now.
Well, you can. Probably deserve it.
But you say things like that, and then I'm gonna feel bad.
I feel... How am I gonna pull off the punk rock, like, megastar thing now? Fuck. I've lost my edge. Oh.
Alright, I know. Here's what we're gonna do. Alright?
What are we gonna do?
Play along.
Right, okay.
And then we just smash cut to Penny throwing you off the banister from the second floor of Tarsus, and you land on a table, and you're gonna take D10 damage.
1!
All right, so you land on a table, and the people who are sitting there grab their drinks and get up before you land, so you don't impale yourself on a bottle, which is what I was hoping for. That would have been dramatic. And Penny yells down, "You're not welcome here anymore. Get out. I don't want to see your face again, you dirty thief."
And I walk out.
And Penny continues like yelling invectives and, tiefling slurs. She gets really personal. She insults your appearance and general attitude and vibe. She wants to make it very clear that she beat you, and it was very cool and good of her.
Time to go back to chaotic evil. Let's go kick out.
Zoe, what do you do during this street cred saving maneuver that everyone pulls?
I think grab a drink and watch. It seems pretty entertaining. I was meant to just like stand back for in case something bad happened, but I assume that I caught wind enough to know that there's a plan.
Yeah, you were standing outside the door when they were discussing it inside, and you caught the basic gist of what's going on.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, by God, she killed her! She just killed her! I'm just like a color commentator for WWE at this point.
She had a family.
Why, Penny? Why?
Nice. So after this kind of scene kind of dies down because Veltari is going to leave, you see Robin and Claudia coming out of Claire's office, and Robin is a slightly chubby, befleshed elf man for the moment.
Zoe's gonna go up to them, and she's just going to ask bluntly, so how does it feel?
Claudia just looks at you, and she's kind of just like holding Robin close to her, and Robin doesn't seem like comfortable and ready with his body. It's because he's been a slime man for so long. He doesn't even seem like he knows how to walk right now, but they're just like overcome with emotion as she just like holds him close to her, and she just like opens her mouth to answer you, and she does that pre-cry breath, and she just stops trying to talk, because it's not going to work.
Zoe just says, I'm happy for you guys, and then kind of walks past them, I think maybe towards Claire's office.
Yeah. And Claudia and Robin kind of go sit down, and they just kind of enjoy each other's company and hold hands and live for the first time in who knows how long. And you go into Claire's office, and she is sitting behind her desk looking very smug. And she says, see, I knew I could handle it. I wasn't even worried at all for even a minute about losing everyone's confidence and blowing this whole thing immediately.
I think you'd be fine. You don't have to worry about crazy things happening when you cast spells, so, you know.
And it didn't turn him inside out or nothing.
Yeah, a victory all around. How's leading the lilies going for you, by the way? Does everyone seem okay with it?
She kind of collapses back into her chair with a sigh and says, it was a bit touch and go there. I was worried that if I screwed up the huge embarrassing robbery at the very beginning of this, that they would kick me out. But it seems like if my understanding of the ruckus outside is correct, that everything turned out. No one's dead.
No one's dead.
Penny got her stuff back?
Yeah, Penny got all of her stuff back, so I think it seems like it's gonna work out all right.
I did it.
Yep, you did it. Good job.
Thanks. Hey, why did you not ever think about polymorphing him?
I don't know. Why would you think I would?
You know what? Fair. I hadn't thought of it until he asked. They asked. She asked. You know what's weird? We always picked, like, offensive spells? Fireballs and wind and gusting and...
Crash profanity, create profanity is a really offensive spell.
Like, why are we so hostile?
I just, magic didn't really come to me. I sort of just picked what felt natural, I guess. Like the whole thing of like memorizing spells, it doesn't make sense. So I kind of just go with what innately works.
Don't get me wrong. I love fireballs. Fireballs are very cool. It's just, we could have been helping people the whole time.
I'll catch you around, Claire.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I mess up?
No, you didn't do anything. Zoe's gonna head on out.
Oh, dang. So I guess you're going to head out of Tarsus. You pass the rocks. At this point, Robin just like has his head on Claudia's like lap, and she's petting him. He's just like a cat, basically. And they're just like blissed out in the middle of a bar, which is like a really weird place to be petting your husband, but they don't give a single heck. They don't care. And I guess you're gonna go after Veltari. Are you okay?
Veltari's outside and just like looking through the window. She's gonna cast Magic Mouth onto one of the bottles behind the bar and get it to pretty much like as soon as no one else is around, I want the mouth to just say, "Everything's cool. I saved face. See you later."
Oh, to Carrie. Gosh, you're very good at this game.
Yeah, I've got to make sure that I maintain my flirt game.
Yeah, I mean, Carrie saw all that, but she also saw that the fall didn't hurt you even a little bit, and so she didn't panic.
I assumed as much, but I just wanted to be like, yeah, this was the goal.
There's another version of that scene where you land on a steak knife and it gets very hectic, and it's a different thing entirely.
I just wanted to be like, come see me later. We're it's all cool.
All right, so Veltari and Zoe are reunited. Anything you guys want to say to each other before you head on over to Hawthorne's?
I don't know if Zoe's actually going to join up with everybody. Like, she'll pass by Veltari, but it's going to be clear she's not. She seems very emotionally kind of fragile at the moment.
But before she goes, I kind of want Veltari to just as she's passing, just go, "Hey, thanks."
For what? What did I do?
You came with me. I was ready to just... I don't know, I was ready to just go in a mirror because none of you deserved anything for what I did, and you came. It's more than I deserve. Thank you.
You're welcome. It wasn't anything big, though, You handled it all yourself. You're really smart like that. You know how to to talk your way out of situations and say the right things.
I know how to say the things that'll get me out of immediate trouble. That's not the same as knowing how to say the right things. But thanks.
No problem. Hey, if you're headed back to where the others are, let them know that I got something I want to do first, and I'll catch up with them later.
Do you need a hand, or are you...
Nah, I think I just need to do something alone for a little bit.
Okay. I'll let them know. And I head off to go join everyone else.
So we're going to jump to Rolen and Theodora scene kind of in media res because...
Oh, snap. Why is Rolen bald? Holy shit, what's happened this episode? Oh man, the house just exploded.
We ratcheted the tension up very high off camera. You guys got past the skeletons all right, and you guys sat down with Alice and you explained the basic situation. Is there anything you guys want to like add or leave out? Because she's basically preparing for her death, so this is kind of a big thing for her.
Are you sure you want to be stuck with Bumbles forever?
It's not ideal, but I've met the man and I've taken his measure, and he's nothing I can't handle. A coward and a weakling and a fool, and nothing I haven't crushed before. So,
is there anything that you want us to know about your home here?
You gotta water the skeletons twice a day. No, she actually puts the dragon bone staff on the table between you and says, so you're not going to be able to control all of them right away. In fact, it's going to be some time before you can do more than get one to kind of half obey. It's a lifetime vocation. But I hope that you will find some use in them, and they will continue to keep the grounds cleaned and manicured for the foreseeable future. They're kind of, they have their duties. But I hope you can make use of it. It's been my project all these many years, and I'm glad to see that it will be in somebody's hands who cares after I'm gone.
Well, we'll need to make sure to throw them a party once we figure out our way around the mechanics. Yeah, they don't require much. One party every couple decades should do it.
Well, we're gonna party way more than that.
All right. Well, that will be mostly for you, honey. But I understand.
Doris, thinking of different ways to dress up the skeletons.
Okay, wonderful. All right. So I understand that the angel's having some difficulties. I suppose I should give him the rest of the night to recover, and I'll go over first thing in the morning. Have one last night to put my affairs in order.
Very well. If there's anything else that you wish for us to take care of or look into before you leave, you can either let us know in person or leave a note if you just want to be by yourself between now and the time you enter the mirror.
I never was much for an audience. I spent quite a lot of time alone, and I suspect I will be alone until the end. And then I won't be alone ever again, which is... Sometimes things work out, Rolen. So even if they don't work out your whole life, I guess sometimes in the end, they eventually get there. If there's any comfort in that, I hope you can find it.
It does provide me with a sense of comfort that you'll be in a place of peace forever.
Peace of a sort. I assume it'll be raucous for a while.
But I suspect you'll find a way to find some way to gain control over it, at least enough to keep things habitable.
Tell Bumbles I say hi and then punch him really hard for me.
Absolutely, dear.
Thanks.
I'm fairly certain that Max has done that a few times already. At least the punching part.
Yeah, your friend is a glass jaw and glass abdomen. I put a hole in him. Anyway.
Well, at this point, I think it's best for us to leave you with your time that you have left, but we were happy to help you, Alice.
And I'm glad I met at least one person who, if not redeemed, at least left me with some hope for people like you, if you don't mind me saying.
No offense taken.
Wonderful. I assume you'll be wanting this, dear? She pushes the staff over to you, Theodora, because you're the most loudly magical of the currently present people.
Oh, yes. I'm going to take it.
You seem quite enthusiastic, dear. Are you excited for the skeletons?
Oh, I'm so excited for the skeletons. Spooky friends.
All right. Well, somebody who knows what they're doing and can manage a house, and someone who enjoys the work. It's more than I could have asked for. Thank you. Are you still going to break in once it's yours?
Maybe for fun.
She stands up and goes to walk you guys out.
We leave probably without incident, unless Dora wants to create an incident, you know?
No, Dora's going to like salute her as she leaves. Like, Godspeed.
She waves kindly to you guys, and she seems like a kind of mixture of like relieved and, you know, sad, but also just content. And the doors close, and you guys see Veltari running up to the skeletons, and the skeletons are like taking battle positions because I don't know what she's up to. But you guys also have this staff, and it's clear that, you know, everything's fine.
Hey, everyone. Hey.
You're still alive, Veltari.
Yep. Not in a mirror. Not dead.
I had no doubts.
Rolen, I have to thank you. Apparently that whole honesty thing sometimes is not a bad call.
It's not necessarily the cleanest way out of some situations, but...
You say, eyeing Veltari's fucked up face.
But it seems at the very least that we've avoided a worse outcome for the time being.
The worst thing that came out of what's just gone on is that, like, I can't take control of Warden Light, which, let's be fair, after what we found out tonight, not gonna happen anyway. And I can't go to the place where my nice lady friend works, but it's fine, she can come see me elsewhere, it's all good.
Yes, it's not like Carrie can't leave Tarsus on her own, so...
You know, it's the one... Well, I was going to say it's the one bar. It's the one bar in town. It's an atmosphere I'm going to miss, but hopefully that's not a problem, because we'll get this barrier down and there'll be plenty of bars.
If I'm not mistaken, there's actually a bar in, well, this place, Roland says, pointing to the mansion we just left.
I like your thinking, Roland.
And technically, after Alice heads into the mirror, this is our property.
I'm in charge of the skeletons.
Oh, you've got the staff. Hey. Can I have the staff, please?
Dora's gonna hug it. But I want to be in control of the skeletons.
I want a thing that's touched by a god. It was my thing that I was aiming for ages.
Can we share it? Can it, like, dual custody?
Okay, fine, we'll share it. We'll do alternating days. Roland can have Sundays to even it out.
I'm fine. I don't need to get my hands on the staff there, okay?
Jokes aside, Roland. This is gonna sound stupid coming from me. This is gonna sound a bit ridiculous, but I finally feel like, at least to some degree, I deserve the forgiveness you gave me. So, thank you.
It's not a problem, Veltari. I have to say that my position about our situation has changed quite a bit in the past day.
Yeah, it's been a day. It's been a day.
And it's not even done yet. Where's Zoey, by the way?
Hey, Zoey. Where are you?
I think the first thing she's gone to do is towards the edge of Ilium. Probably like the place she actually entered into Ilium from. I think there's just a period of time where she spends kind of like staring at the barrier and reflecting on it, like trying to like placing her hand on it, just to like, I guess we never established it, I guess, in universe. The idea like if you try to go through the barriers, just it feels like a solid wall or whatever.
We discussed it in literally episode 1, so it's no wonder you don't remember. But yeah, it feels like 1,000 feet of concrete from the inside.
Okay.
But you look at it, and just a reminder, we don't talk much about it, but it's gorgeous. It's like a dancing light show, and it's, you know, every color of the rainbow and shimmering, and it's like you get used to it, but it's amazing.
So yeah, I think there's some time spent staring at that and kind of reflecting on it, other things. So she's trying to kind of get her emotional state under control. And then eventually she's going to head back towards the Avant Guard headquarters.
Is that where the rest of you guys are going to? Because we can just meet up.
I assume that's a convenient place to wait until we get back, bump back into Zoe.
So on the way there, I just want to make a note. Lauren, that is a +3 staff, so +3 to attacks with it and +3 to saving throws, your spell save DC, and you can control one skeleton with it for an hour. Right now, it's obviously if you dedicated your life to necromancy, you could do more, but with no knowledge right now, you can get a skeleton to do what you want at will.
Fuck yeah.
Okay, so you guys all get home eventually, and Winifred's there, and he's doing the dishes. Hey guys!
Winnie, I can control skeletons now.
Oh, I cleaned this cup. It's really shiny.
Oh, good job, buddy.
I'm slightly less of a shitbag. Hey!
We've all undergone so much change today.
Speaking about controlling skeletons and such, I wanted to bring this up when we were all together. While it is nice that we'll have access to the Hawthorne Mansion, I'm not particularly interested in relocating us to there.
I'm just gonna visit them and play games with them.
If the property were to be under any of our particular overview, it should be Dora's.
Sweet.
You got a spooky house.
Ah!
Do you have any objections to that, Veltari?
You can come play with the stat. Oh, you can come play with the skeletons.
It's fine. I've done nothing while I've been here to deserve it. Go on.
Hold on. Did you just say you can come play with my staff and then rethink that sentence?
I was waiting for somebody to catch it.
It requires both hands. Ooh.
I thought nobody noticed. I thought I got away.
So is this Roland's gift to Theodora the same way he gave out his equipment to everyone else? This is the...
Yes.
The IOU.
You got the coolest gift.
I know, so many skeletons.
So I think at this point, during all the staff jokes, Zoe gets home as well.
Zoe, I can control skeletons now.
That's pretty dope. Don't make them do weird shit.
No, we're gonna play croquet and shit.
Oh, that's fine.
Language!
I've just realized I need to go do something really quick. And at this point, Veltari's literally just going to sprint up to her room, close the door, wait for her guitar to say that Grace exists, and then just kind of grumble to herself fucking waste of a cool spell, and run back down.
Just a point of order, your room has been tossed.
Yeah, I expected as much. It's fine. I go in, shut the door, hear the Grace message, grumble that I wasted a good spell, and I come back down to the meeting. Just wanted to get that done.
The camera hovers a moment over one of the items amongst the mess, which is the signet ring that was amongst Bumbershoot's possessions. We saw way back when you first got here. And I think this is the first time the audience really puts together that the seal on it, the symbol on it, is the same as all the scenes we've seen with Count Danto, now Lord Danto. It's the same orchid wreathed in flames. That is the house he controls. It's just not a twist. It's just...
This is a big surprise I did not see coming.
It's just some reminder to everyone that is still happening in the background. But then you rejoin.
It's Chekhov's ring. No.
All right. So you guys are all in the downstairs. What's up?
Have we done everything in town? Because I feel like now's the time that we go try and talk to the barrier.
You guys cleaned up all the side quests, and now it's time to do the main mission.
Can I clarify? Can we have a long rest first? Can we all just have a nice long nap?
Yeah, can we just have a nice rest?
Can we have a nice long nap and then go deal with this barrier?
All right, so let's trust Austin that he's not going to screw you over and say that you guys sleep off your very big, stressful day, and in the morning you re-energize, go out to do the big glowing marker on your map, which signifies the plot.
I have a couple of things I want to do before we go. Does Veltari know how Wolf feels about the barrier coming down or not?
Yeah, he's been pretty clear. He was chased here by an angry mob.
Yeah.
People on the outside hate trolls, and here he is a justice hero. So he would be absolutely crushed if the barrier went down. We should actually be clear about that. What everyone's feelings about this. The Rocks are wanted criminals. The barrier going down is very bad for them. Wolf really likes the barrier. Light likes the barrier. He does not want his daughter to run away, but Grace very much wants it to go down. She wants to see the world. Martis would like to at least go tell his dad he's alive. Carrie very much wants to leave. She feels like she's trapped here. Penny could have it either way. She likes being kind of the big shot in charge. And actually, Claire Elise as well kind of likes the taste of power, but doesn't want to be trapped forever. Both of them would eventually want to leave, just not anytime soon. Winifred, you guys have never asked Winifred.
No.
I was actually expecting at some point someone to spend a downtime scene with him and just like ask about his backstory.
I was legitimately, before we kind of just said everyone went to bed and did that, I was going to say Zoe was going to stay up the night and actually talk to Winifred about some things, but...
Okay, no, I'd like to have that scene. Any other NPCs? Anybody's curious about their position on the barrier?
Sylvia?
Sylvia was kicked out of her home, exiled. She kind of said that a little bit before she was cut off once in a good bit where like, your backstory is very interesting. We're kind of doing something, Sylvia. She has nowhere to go. And she is a big shot. Actually, she's rich now here. So she actually probably would not like it if the barrier came down, and she would probably have to find somewhere else to go, and she would not be rich anymore because money would exist again. So she actually probably likes it.
What about Azrael?
Azrael wants to go home, which is another planet. So, yeah. Well, here's the thing about Azrael is he was sent here to get information about the barrier. So while he wants to leave, he doesn't want to leave empty-handed is kind of the twist there.
Okay.
So everyone goes to bed, but Zoe, you stay up a little bit longer and you want to talk to Winifred. I think he's psychic. He senses that you're kind of in a downer mood.
Yeah.
And so he probably like brings you like a banana or something. He's like, is this good for you? He just kind of pushes it in your direction. I don't know what you eat. I eat psychic energy.
I mean, you make preserves, but I'm also allergic to those, I guess.
I think it was just the blackberry.
Oh.
It's not the concept of preserves. It would be weird to be allergic to the concept of preserves. I think it was just the one berry.
Oh. I'm sorry, Winnie. I'm kind of dumb. So
No, you're not dumb. You're just focused on certain things and not other things. That's okay. You know what they say? If you try to judge a fish based on his ability to fly, then everyone's dumb or something.
I think there are some fish that can fly, though.
Well, they said it, not me.
Hey, Winnie, I had a question I want to ask you that's somewhat related. Why did you choose to come to Ilium?
Oh, no one's ever asked me that before. I just assumed nobody cared.
Oh, I guess I just thought everybody else already had asked you, and I don't know. I've just been, maybe not thinking the way I should have been since I've gotten here, and I wanted to know.
I'm a flumph, and we eat psychic energy. That's like our fuel source. And out in the world, everything is bad vibes all the time, and it's a total bummer, and it tastes bad. And so I didn't really like any of the places out there, and so I was just kind of going on an adventure looking for good vibes. And I saw this big colored weird mystery, and I didn't know it was going to trap me. And so I went in trying to find good vibes, and then I got stuck.
Oh.
So you've just been stuck here because you got kind of curious?
Basically, I was just trying to find nice people to spend time with and share with. And then I found you guys, which is good.
So are you happy in Ilium?
I'm happy with you guys.
But do you like living here? Like, if the barrier went down, would you just want to leave? Do you have, like, a home to go back to or anything?
You guys are my home.
How long did it take you to sort of figure out what you were going to do trapped in here?
Oh, I mean, I floated around a long time trying to see if I could find anybody with good vibes. And most of the people here, well, all of them really, have a lot of bad vibes because you don't come here unless something bad happened out there. Like people are scared or they're greedy or they're mean or something. And so I floated around lonely for a long time. And then Dora showed up and she has spooky vibes, but she also has a lot of friendship vibes. And she was always trying to find good friends. And then Rolen showed up and he has very shiny vibes. And then you showed up, you have sparkly vibes. And I like those. And then Veltari showed up, and her vibes were bad at first, but they've gotten a lot better.
Huh.
Bumbershoot's vibes were always bad, and I never really trusted him. Just putting that out there. But I was trying to be open-minded, but his vibes are icky.
Do you think this place should stay? Like, if you could choose to keep Ilium or get rid of it forever, do you think it's good to have a place like this?
I've never really thought of it before. I just kind of go with the flow and just try to enjoy every day instead of thinking about what could be. But I know that a lot of people do like this place and they get joy out of it, and I wouldn't want to take that from them. But I also know it makes a lot of people sad, and I want them to be happy. So I guess there isn't really a good answer. I want everybody to be happy, but sometimes it's impossible.
Yeah, I think I'm seeing that in action now.
What's important is remembering, as long as you make the people that will be unhappy from your decisions marginalized and dehumanized, then you can make any decisions without any remorse. Wait, no, that's not a good message to take from this scene. Shoot.
Or just do the traditional Dungeons & Dragons thing, which is all the people you disagree with are mindless monsters, and then you can just beat them up for experience points.
The murder hobo platform. It's a fine gambit.
I mean, does that help? I feel like your vibes aren't as shiny right now. Is it my fault? Did I do bad?
No, it's not your fault, Winifred. Actually, you helped a bit. I'm just, I think I'm still like you, kind of floating around till I find those good vibes.
Man, we're all just floating around through life trying to get good vibes, am I right?
You sound like Ishmael. Do you have that dank herb? Did you make dank herb marmalade?
All right, so Winifred wishes you good night, Zoe.
Should give him a hug.
Aw, he gives you a big tentacly hug. And he whispers in your ear, I have a mouth.
That seems like a weird thing to clarify.
I know you've been talking shit about my mouth.
Oh shit.
Oh no, it's the revenge of Winnie. Like, and then Winnie just shows up on the map again and overwhelms everyone.
Yeah.
I hear you talking shit about my mouth.
No, sorry. That was an Austin joke. He doesn't actually say that. He wishes you a good night. And then the next morning, you guys all wake up, refreshed and full of spell slots. What do you do?
I want to suggest that we just go to the barrier in general. I don't think there's any specific point on the barrier that is worth heading to, just wherever is the closest.
All right, so the Avant Guards gear up and head out and just walk to the edge of town. And there is a huge, colorful rainbow aurora towering overhead up into space. And it is the same as it's ever been.
Okay. I want to try and kick things off.
I thought you said you were going to kick it.
Yes, I want to kick it. No, I kind of want to kick things off by trying to cast Detect Thoughts, specifically trying to, see if I can discern anything from the barrier.
Veltari, you cast Detect Thoughts. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
27, natural 20.
Yep, that's a natural 20 on Constitution.
So you try to reach into the thoughts of the aurora, whatever that means in this context. And basically what happens, and this is the closest analogy, there's no real way to describe this in a way that would make sense to humans who experience non-magical life, but the equivalent is you're hit by a kind of blast of white noise. Like something, but not thoughts as you recognize them.
Is this surface level what I'm getting?
It's not thoughts. You try to contact it, and your brain doesn't know what to do with whatever it gets. And if you had rolled lower, it might have been bad for you. As it is, it's just like that channel just doesn't work for you.
Yeah.
That seems like that's not much for a crit, but if you had not crit, you'd be taking damage right now.
Okay. So that's overwhelming static. Be careful. You might want to be careful with this, everyone.
Veltari says that, and Zoe, you see Lady Nim is leaning up against the barrier. No one else can see her, of course, with her green veins and the eyes all over her skin, her total body horror situation. And she says to you, you guys are really going to try connecting your minds to the most powerful concentration of magic in the universe? Good luck. I hope you like seeing your friends' brains drip out of their nose.
The problem is just perception, so that's why we're getting the static. So if Veltari just tilted her head correctly, maybe she would have gotten a clearer signal.
Can I, like, attach some, like, coat hangers to my horns to try and get, like, better signal?
So, mate, you guys are going to try some stuff, and right, people have tried stuff for decades. A lot of things have been tried, and I don't think anything you can think of off the top of your head is going to work necessarily, but Lady Nim is watching, and she is, of course, Gonador. And while she didn't know before this, she learned at the same time that you guys did that it was something that could be communicated with. She watches all this, and she says to Zoey, "Hey, try the sword.
Why?
Maybe you just need more juice than a mortal can harness."
Last time I used the sword, well, you know what happened.
Believe me, if I could eat it, I would. That's not what this is about.
All right. Zoe's going to pull out the sword and just hold it towards the barrier's edge for a moment. This is fucking feeling Kingdom Hearts like nobody's business.
So you hold out the Sword of Gonador to the barrier, and just the way it reacted when you held it towards the spine, you see kind of tendrils, like inky, smoky, black tendrils kind of form on the blade and kind of reach out to touch it. And when they start to, they kind of reel back as if they touched a hot stove when they touch it. And Nim says next to you, like, "Ooh, I didn't even know things could be so powerful." That's something else. That's not even power.
I want to stab the barrier with the sword.
Wait, seriously?
Do it. Do it.
I mean, that was Lady Nim's suggestion. Use the sword. I feel like as long as my fear was like if the tendrils touch it, do they just absorb the barrier and I create a super duper god? But if it burns him at the touch, then
So Zoe, you plunge Gonador's sword into the barrier and it shatters basically. You just give it a mighty thrust, and as the tip hits it, it splits, but rather than coming down in shards of blade and landing in the grass, it splits open into separate tendrils, and it begins trying to basically feel across the barrier. Your sword is now a series of black tendrils, and they keep trying to touch and feel the barrier, but it's clear that it's, if not painful, it is too powerful in such a way that it can't maintain contact for long. And Nim says to you, there's definitely something in there. We need stronger connection. Tell Dora to use the book.
Hey, Dora,
Yeah, what's up?
try using the book. I got a hunch.
Like put it on the barrier?
Open it up first and see if there's like a message in it, and then maybe the book against the barrier.
Okay. I'm gonna open it and write, "Dear Ganny, what the fuck?"
Well, no, you don't do that, because during this whole conversation, by the way, Zoe's still holding the handle of what is now a writhing bouquet of tendrils.
Tentacles.
Tendrils is not quite.
We'll get there in a second, because the distinction becomes immediately clear. You reach into your bag and you pull out the book and you're going to write, "Dear Ganny, what's up," or whatever. You don't get a chance to, though, because when you open the book, tendrils come out.
Oh, sweet. It's never done that before.
So tendrils are spilling out of the pages of the book and growing, and it's, Gonador is an eye,
Yeah.
but you've seen these things before, right? When you sacrificed a crab and one of them came through a portal and converted Zoe, and when Zoe tried to touch the spine with her sword, you see these things before, and we joke about tentacles, tendrils, but it's actually clear to you now what they are, because as they are coming out of the book, they're growing, and they're becoming so big that you can actually inspect them in greater detail.
Are they sentient eyelashes?
No, that would be hilarious.
Oh, damn it!
They're optic nerves,
Oh.
the kind of meat wire that attaches it to the back of the eye.
Oh, heck.
That's what is happening, and they're pouring out and they're growing and they're reaching out for the barrier. There's a lot of them. The sword is now optic nerves of Gonador, and the book is full of them and overflowing, and they're everywhere now.
Can I try to pull the sword back?
Yeah, I mean, you can start walking backwards and they'll just the sword keeps growing.
Okay.
Lady Nim says to you, Zoe, "All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're all going to go in together." How does that sound, Zoe?
Going where?
To meet her.
Yeah.
It's a mirror prison, isn't it?
What are we going into, though?
I don't know. That's what makes it so exciting.
You take too much joy in this.
4 optic nerves start going towards the 4 of you. And Nim says, just trust me. This is going to work.
I wonder if it's Nim or if it's just Ganador taking the visage of Nim.
They are one and the same, if that's not clear. 1 tendril for each of you is reaching out, and it's going towards your face.
I'm not trying to prevent it at this point.
Yeah, Dora walks towards it.
Okay, so this happens to Theodora and Zoey first. The tendril enters your eye. It goes in through your pupil, and it connects you to this network of tendrils. Veltari and Rolen, you see this happen, and it doesn't seem like it's hurting them, but they've been connected to this network. Do you do that as well? Right now, Theodora and Zoey those characters are not accessible to Veltari and Rolen now. They have become one with Ganador for this scene.
I feel like this is a prison thing. We are the lords of getting people out of prisons and dealing with prisons. I'm up for this.
I don't like doing this. Probably as much as you don't like doing this, but
If anyone's gonna do it, it's us.
Rude.
I meant us as in the Avant Guard collectively.
I like to think of it as like mom and dad are like, oh no, we can't let the kids go in alone.
no, that is what Roland's intent is. Because this is 87.5% Ganador's fault, and by proxy Dora. So
To be fair, like the 2 people who've been into every like prison type scenario so far, which is where I assume this is going, and have like left every time, like me and Roland are the constants.
All right, so Veltari and Rolen, you guys let Ganador's squirming, meaty, dark, like oily optic nerve slither into your pupil.
Yep.
Roland will mutter some small prayer to the Triad as this happens, but yes.
So the 4 of you go from standing outside the barrier to standing in a room. All 4 walls, the floor, and the ceiling are mirrors. You can see your own reflection in them, and it's overwhelming. You're surrounded, all 4 of you, by an infinite refractory display of your reflections, and it is very overwhelming and also paradoxical because there are no light sources in this room. I don't know if you guys have ever thought about a room made up of only mirrors, but to see it would require a light source, which would give you some kind of grounding, and that is not the case. So this space is physically impossible. That's the first thing. The second thing is you guys seem to be all right. Nothing hurt you. You're not under any control. Still have all your limbs. But it's the 4 of you in this room. You don't see any evidence of Ganador. You don't see any evidence of anybody else right now. That's where you are.
I'm gonna do the thing that I always do upon entering mirror prisons and use thaumaturgy and just shout, "Hello."
Nice. You see, in one of the mirrors, the vague shape, the outline of an average human woman appear. I say outline in a very literal sense because this reflection is 2-dimensional. It is not a reflection of anything. It is inside of the reflection. Does that make sense? We're in a very non-Euclidean kind of scene here.
It's flat. It's not like there's no depth to even the reflection itself. It's literally just the outer line on a flat plane.
It's the silhouette of a kind of average-sized proportioned woman who is full of the aurora's colors. And this figure, who is not in the room with you, only the reflection, and the reflection of her is not reflecting in the other mirrors.
Right.
She seems to only exist in one mirror as a reflection. And she appears in response to Veltari calling out, and you hear a voice say, "Some of you call me Aurora. You may continue to do so if you wish. This will be simpler if you have a name to call me."
Hello, Aurora.
Hello, Theodora.
Oh, cool, you know me.
I isn't the correct word. I do not have a self, but I understand the limitations of your language. If it helps you, yes, I know you.
What are you?
Yeah, what's your deal?
What are you? What is your deal?
I'm a Nixie, and I do spooky things. That's my deal.
Okay.
It's your turn.
Aurora says to you, consider the stone. There are almost incalculable number of stones throughout the world, of every size, shape, color, description, and composition. But they are all pale imitations of the perfect stone, the stone. Do you understand?
The ideal concept by which all other lesser things are merely a shadow of.
Correct. The world you inhabit, the world of the physical, is but one world. The world from which I originate is the world of the real, of the perfect, which your world only reflects.
So what are you doing here then?
Our worlds did not always intersect. Eons ago, we were thrown out of alignment, and now slivers of my world, the world of forms, intersect with yours, one at a time, creating an unnatural overlap.
Can we use the term Platonic in this context, and that will actually make sense?
Yeah, Plato did not exist, but we can assume there's an equivalent in the D&D world.
Because to some extent, we're talking about like Platonic realism here in some capacity. So
Yes, that is the absolute philosophical basis for this conversation.
it's almost like I'm someone who spent way too much time watching a lot of stuff on this topic before. So your world was knocked out of alignment, and because it's moving in an imbalanced way, it occasionally just collides with this world for a moment.
Yes, if you think of your world as a wheel made up of the different planes, the prime material, the Feywild, hell, you can think of my world as another wheel, and as they turn, one spoke at a time crosses over into yours in a way that was never intended.
If you're here because of the spoke being on our world, then you're gonna go away at some point? Or
My time has already come and gone. I should have left years ago. However, the guardians of your world have pinned me here like an insect on a needle.
But why? Did you do something?
Because they're afraid.
Because they fear what comes next. I am, in their estimation, relatively harmless.
But the next spoke that may intersect may be more powerful.
Do you know what the next spoke is?
Yes,
Should our world fear the next spoke?
your world fears everything.
That is true, but is the next spoke worthy of the fear necessary to stop the motion of the planes, as you describe it?
I understand your thought processes enough to say that yes, there are those who would rightly fear what comes after me, but I do not feel fear or want any of the feelings that drive you. So
I was never insisting that you were fearful of this, just rather that it's a rationally sound concept to feel fear about the next thing. That's all.
so what can you do then if all the spokes do different things and the next one's really scary? What do you do?
you know better than nearly anyone what I do. You have lived within me, literally.
So you're just the barrier then?
No, this is a manifestation that was never intended. All life capable of making decisions lives with me from birth until long after death. You have just experienced a physical and perceivable avatar rather than the conceptual touch all other humanity has felt.
I mean, the way you speak, you act that you're speaking as if you're the embodiment of agency in and of itself, based on how you speak.
The gnome inventor who came here attempted to recreate me in his mirrors. He came close with his simulacrums. However, he neglected an important detail. It is not simply imprisonment that I am. After one is imprisoned and they are released, imprisonment does not end. You carry it with you for your entire life and beyond. All the feelings, the stigma, the shame, everything that being trapped is with you forever. That is my burden, the burden that all life carries.
The burden of being forced to live with all the decisions you make.
Yes. Once you enter, you cannot leave. You can only take me with you.
Are you life?
All life contains me, but I do not contain all life.
Oh shit, we're gonna get into one of these types of riddles. Damn it. Where's my book of riddles here?
I wanted to say, are you the Hotel California?
Zoe's just gonna ask, says, the way you describe yourself, you kind of sound a lot like sins, that once you kind of have them, you carry them with you forever.
That is one word. Your languages contain imperfections that I do not reflect, but that is not a bad word if you were to choose one. You of all the people in this room should know my true form. Perhaps you have felt me most intimately, most recently, and you yourself have reached out and touched my world with a name.
Wait, you mean Barack stuff?
The true and perfect descriptor of a life.
I mean, shit.
The last time Dice Funk had a conversation with one of these, Lauren killed everyone, so I'm excited.
Yes, I did.
But that's beside the point.
Aurora says, "You all carried me with you before you ever came to this town. The paladin who failed to save so many lives. The Nixie who took lives wherever she went. The child who disappointed her parents at every turn. The orphan who could not even retain the love of her parents."
You're just simply the embodiment of guilt, aren't you?
I am guilt.
Because no matter what happens after you commit an act that you are guilty of, nothing can remove the underlying guilt that is carried by the perpetrator.
You understand perfectly.
I might contradict Roland here for a second. Once you have guilt on your shoulders, you can't get rid of guilt once you're carrying it. Other people can help get rid of it. Guilt's not a thing you can shift, it's a thing other people can help shift.
You understand. And so, you understand how it could be possible to leave without leaving.
Because even if one leaves, they still carry you with them.
Yes.
And therefore they're always within your dominion.
Correct. I can't even keep it from creeping into my voice acting that I'm so proud of you.
So what is it that's keeping inhabitants from leaving this spoke that happens to be centered on this one location? Is it their inability to ever be truly separated from guilt itself, or is it an inability to reconcile with that fact?
It is an inability to reconcile their guilt, internalize it, and carry it with them.
It all seems so simple now that I feel like laughing. It all feels so simple when we look back at it now. Everyone comes here because we're guilty. We're all guilty of something. That's why we end up here, and that's why we're trapped here, is because we're all guilty of something. It's almost funny. It's almost funny.
It's not just being guilty. It's being guilty and perhaps being unwilling to accept the fact that that is the state that we're in.
Yeah, this is Austin. It's the mirror, but with an understanding that it's a process and not an end goal.
Right. And that's why the mirrors that Lucas and Grace have made are imperfect, because they treat guilt as something that once you reconcile that you have it, that is enough to release you. It doesn't come with any strings attached that binds you to that fact to carry with you.
It's a limitation of justice, is to reconcile that it's not perfect, and it's just every day it will be a struggle to carry with you everything you've done.
I'm going to ask you a blunt question, Guilt. Those imperfect mirrors that were made, there was a whole idea that, someone put you in there because you had been deemed of your crime, and that there was a definitive, sentence that once you've achieved this point, you'll leave. Is that the situation here? Are you in a position where if someone met certain criteria, you would make a choice to let them leave? Is that how this works?
If you could achieve peace with the guilt you carry, then you could take me with you and leave this town.
So someone would have to be willing to shoulder that guilt in a direct manifestation with them.
There are people who go their entire lives with absolute, genuine, intense effort and are never able to attain that state. But as you have seen yourself, with the help of others, it can be achieved. Your other option, if you ever wish to set foot outside of Ilium, would be to simply remove that which binds me here.
The sacrum. The spine that is affixed within this barrier. It is what is pinning the spoke in place.
Correct.
Now there's at least two options. I guess part of me is thinking, that first option, what is the actual consequences of taking that on?
Ooh, I love that you said that, because I made a little list.
Okay.
Let's get this party on the road. Let's see let's take a look at the presents we get for taking this on.
This is fun. So this is very important. This is everything the series has been leading to. So I'm going to walk you through the pros and cons of the two options before you. There actually, as designed, was other options, but some of those have been closed off because of stuff we'll talk about in the finale. The two options before you are to destroy the spine or to reconcile your guilt. The pros of destroying the spine, we'll start there. The pros are Zoey will surpass her sister as the person who brought down the barrier, which will bring her what she has at least claimed to want all along. That is the first pro of destroying the spine. The second pro is that Gonador will get what he wanted, which was to troll the other gods, and he will reward Theodora proportionally to that, which is who knows how he works, but also undoubtedly Zoey will reap some benefit from helping Gonador achieve his aims. And finally, the pro of destroying the spine is that you will free the other inhabitants of Ilium who are trapped. People like Carrie, who very desperately want to leave. The cons of destroying the spine is that you will make Warden Light hostile. You will be destroying his home and allowing his daughter to leave. He will be irreconcilably hostile to the party from here forward. Also, you will expose the refugees, people like Wolf the Troll and the Giants and the Rocks, to whatever drove them here. They will become exposed to danger. And finally, whatever is after guilt will arrive, and you do not know, and you get the sense that she will not tell you. Those are the cons of destroying the spine.
This is a really dumb question, but as far as reward from Gonadar, would he take requests? Because Dora wants to make him happy, but she doesn't want to leave the barrier.
You don't know. Right now, Gonador has basically plugged you guys into this, but he's not here with you. so you can't ask him. And once you get out, you could ask him, obviously. But Ganondorr is Ganondorr, which means, unpredictable.
Yeah.
But this is Austin speaking from DM knowledge. That's real. He will reward you.
Okay.
That's not like a trick. It's just the form is unknown.
And what's the pros and cons of our other option?
The other option, which is to internalize your guilt, come to some kind of peace with that, and then just walk out like you have done with the mirrors. The pros are that the next spoke of the world of forms will not arrive. It will continue to be guilt, which has, people have complicated feelings about it, but it's not hurting that many people. It's not like previous seasons where it was an apocalyptic event. It's just weird.
Right.
The next pro is that the refugees inside will remain safe. Wolf will not be hunted by a mob. The rocks will not be arrested. And the final pro is that Warden Light will remain your ally because he wishes for the barrier to continue. He has obviously conflicted feelings about the gods, but they did send him here to pin this thing. The cons of just walking out are that Ganondorr will become irretrievably hostile. That is not what he wants, and there will be consequences. The second con is that the prisoners, is what I've written in my notes, but the people who want to leave who can't will remain trapped. Carrie, in particular, will take this as an unforgivable betrayal if you leave her behind, considering that your interaction so far. That's the one that comes to mind, but there are other people who want to leave very badly. And finally, guilt will remain here, which will continue to trap people who arrive in the future. That you have no reason to believe anyone else will get to as far as you have, and maybe that this will just be a prison that fills up with people forever. And those are the pros and cons of the two approaches before you.
So Zoe's going to ask, so those are like the two options if we want to do something, right? What if we don't want to do anything?
Okay, so Aurora or Guilt will answer you in a second. Austin wants to answer this, just so it's clear to everyone. Things that are going on outside currently are Mara Sladen is in some kind of trouble. Somebody is sending zombies after Dora. They will continue until she is eventually killed. And whatever is going to happen to Stellarosa is going to happen to Stellarosa. Although in character, Zoe didn't actually pick up on the hints that Stellarosa is working for Danto.
Yeah. Zoe's, I guess, asking, this can partially be out of character. Do we all have to make the same decision?
That's a very interesting question. I'm glad you got there, which is some of you could go try to figure out how to internalize your guilt, and some of you other could go destroy the spine. So then what happens is the villain of season 3 is half of the party, right?
Yeah.
Let me be clear, that's a legitimate choice. It'll be Warden Light and whoever tries to internalize their guilt versus Ganondorr and whoever tries to destroy the spine. Those will be the two factions of the rest of the campaign. That is the war that Ganondorr foresaw. In a way, he didn't know exactly the form it would take. That is the stay inside the barrier storyline, frankly, is the war for it.
Is it bad that, like, the biggest thing when I'm, like, weighing stuff up right now is, like, really don't want to piss off certain someone that I get on very well with?
I mean, that's very in character for Veltari because she doesn't have a lot of people who trust her. So someone who very much enjoys her company is very precious. And I'm into it.
If it is more interesting, I can give you Zoe's answer right now because I kind of knew this was where the season was going to go. I had an anticipation this was the choice that was going to have to be made.
Okay. I'm not sure if that speaks well or poorly of my storytelling, but go on.
No, I think it speaks very well of it. So I've been knowing where Zoe was going and all the events have kind of fallen. So I can bluntly state out where she is if we want to, or I could save it.
I mean, I know what Dora's going to do.
So Zoe will turn to the rest of the group and she's going to say, so I don't know what you guys all are thinking, but I'm not leaving Ilium. I know I came here with my only real goal being to take down the barrier, but I didn't really understand what was on the inside. And I've seen it and all the people here who have a home, and I don't want them to lose what they have. And I also don't want Ganondorr to win. I don't really know what his end goal is, but there's a part of me that just doesn't want to let him have any kind of victory. So I'm fine with staying in here forever. That's something I've made peace with, but I won't let anyone destroy the barrier.
You won't? You won't let?
Zoey will give you maybe the only time you've seen like real confidence in her eyes. She says, I don't do anything right, but I will give everything I have to make sure the barrier stays up.
There's little Bubbles' daughter will remember that.
If you'd asked me days ago, this would have been an easy choice. I am in a position right now where I don't know what to do. And this is new for me, because the right thing to do has always been what's good for Veltari. And right now, even if I was going to stick with what's good for Veltari, I don't know what's good for me, because you know what the problem with this place is right now? This place is simultaneously the only place that has anyone that cares about me, and the only place that I cannot escape from what I've done. People here know that I have done terrible things. Things that I have done here are going to catch up, and I'm not going to be able to run from them. But it's the only place where there's anyone who's ever cared about me. And I don't know which of those wins out. I don't know whether I stay here for the people who care, or if I run for the people who don't.
Roland just nods to Zoey and Veltari. I wouldn't force either of you to make a choice that is against your best interest, but I need to do what I can outside of here at the very least to help some friends that I've let down and to rise up against a foe that threatens many people outside of here. At the same time, I can't bring myself to tear down the barrier for everyone who inhabits in here. So if there's a pathway to reconcile my past failures and carry them with me going forward, it would be what I feel is right.
I wish it was that simple, Roland. This is not me struggling to make a choice where I feel like, I should really do this, but I just can't bring myself to. I don't know whether I can live in a place where I can never run from how people see me and I never get a fresh chance. I don't know if I can live knowing I'll never get a fresh chance to, make new impressions on people. But I don't know if I can run away from the only people that have given me a second chance knowing everything that I am. I just don't know.
Whether you stay or whether you come along with me, I have a feeling that there'll always be at least one person that you can look to who is willing to look past your past mistakes.
I don't know that I can handle this choice. At which point, I want Veltari to just, nope out of this room, to just leave the rest of the Avant Guard, and if that is an option, and just go.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do. I was just gonna nope out.
That's absolutely fine. Veltari, you're the first, and you're suddenly back outside.
Yeah.
Standing in the grass, and the tendrils retracting from your eye, and you're there. And Theodora, are you next?
I'm gonna look at them both and say, I've made my choice, and I'm gonna leave.
Rolen? Zoey?
I understand why you've made your choice, Zoey. I agree with you that removing the barrier entirely is not a very desirable idea right now.
I know why people want to leave, but if the choice is between one or the other, I think I found a purpose for myself in this place that is more than I ever thought I could have when I came into there. I want to do everything I can to help the people who are trapped inside, because there are a lot of people here who need help, and I think maybe that's kind of what I've been meant to do all along.
I understand. I would like to stay here and help those who need it, but for now, I still have things I need to take care of. I have to reconcile with mistakes I've made directly, but I will not do it. I will not exit in such a way that will allow Ganador to win.
Zoey will just give Roland a pat on the shoulder, and she just says, no matter what decision you make, it's okay, because I trust that you're making the right one. It's who you are. And no matter what happens, thanks for believing in me. And then Zoe's gonna head out to exit.
Zoe, you are now standing in the grass. Rolen?
Roland's going to look to the impression of guilt and say, is there a specific way that one must go through to internalize and reconcile with their guilt? Or is it something that is innate but restrained by other thoughts that a person may carry?
Guilt says, there are many paths to personal peace. However, you have witnessed the power of transformation. As I said, the simulacrums are only missing one element of myself. All they need is a little adjustment.
I think I understand. Thank you for your time.
She nods.
Then Roland exits.
So all 4 of the Avant Guards find themselves standing in the grassy field just inside the barrier of Ilium. And it takes a moment, probably, for you all to decompress, because you just interfaced with a manifestation of the abstract concept of guilt. But after you take a moment to collect yourselves, what do you do?
Look, everyone, I need to go deal with some things, and I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I know something I need to do, so I'll find you all. I know to probably look either at the sacrum or at the headquarters, I guess.
We'll see you later, Veltari.
Hopefully so.
Okay, Veltari, where are you going?
I am going to go see Wolf.
All right. So Wolf the Troll is currently minding his potato patch. He's not expecting company. It's the morning. Remember, you guys kind of woke up refreshed to go visit the barrier, and so he's kind of just lounging in his field.
Hey, Wolf?
Yeah? Are you okay?
I'm not okay, Wolf. I'm not okay. It's been a morning.
Is it injustice? I can get ready. I can go. I'm not dressed, but just give me a minute and we can go get him.
It's the kind of injustice that we're not going to be able to take to Wallop City.
Oh, that's the worst kind of injustice. I hate it.
Yeah, this is the, well, I say we can't deal with it at Wallop City. You may disagree, but
We'll have to take it to Headlocksville.
Oh, Wolf, you're too wonderful. I need to talk with you, Wolf, and I suspect by the time we're done, things are going to be different with us by the time we're done. So,
I'm not ready for any kind of commitment. I don't know.
No, sorry.
Okay, well, I just want to let you know, I'm a free troll. I need my independence.
It's all right. I've got someone I'm interested in. It's all right. Wolf, I need to talk to you about some things that I have been dishonest about. And they're things that I'm pretty sure I could keep hidden from you and everything could be fine, but I need to talk to you about them. And all I ask is that you hear me out until I'm done. And whatever you decide to do when I'm done, I will... You can do what you need to do, but I just need to talk to you, and I need you to listen, if that's okay.
Of course. I can listen good.
So, I honestly believe you are a wonderful person that deserves a lot of happiness and deserves a lot more care and respect than people give you. And I think that you are fully deserving of the heroship that you have. I think you're more deserving than most people in this barrier, if not all of them. And that includes me. You're more deserving than I am by a long way of that. I have done... This is tough. And this is tough for me to do because I'm legitimately terrified that you are going to hate me when I tell you this. And you should. I deserve to be hated.
It's not you, it's me, okay?
Pretty much. I am not the original wearer of that mask. The person you first met wearing that mask was someone that was doing some very bad things and that I felt the need to stop. And I lied to you for personal gain. I lied to you to get you on side. I lied to you for my own personal reasons. I tried to cover up the fact that someone that was a friend of yours I'd had to kill. I felt that it was the right thing to do. I felt it was the way to keep people safe. And I was afraid of losing you as a friend. And I pretended to be the original mask wielder so that you wouldn't have to live with the knowledge that one of your friends killed another of your friends. And I can say that I wanted you to feel happy. Like, I didn't want you to suffer with that knowledge. It's me. I didn't want to have to admit it in case I lost a friend. It wasn't about protecting you. It was me being terrified that you would stop being my friend if I told you I'd killed him. And so I pretended I was him. I pretended to be him to stop losing you as a friend, because you are a legitimately lovely, wonderful person. And I hid the fact that I was, hanging around with the Popo. From moment one that we chatted, I pretended to be captured by the Popo rather than acknowledging I was one of them, because at first I just needed information from you. I needed to know things that you knew, and you didn't know me. It was an easy thing to do, but I quickly realized you're a wonderful, wonderful person, and I spun myself into this web of lies trying to keep a friendship that I never deserved, because you are too good of a person, and I didn't deserve you, and I've done terrible things trying to keep you from not being my friend, and now I'm willingly telling you this, and I'm probably throwing that friendship away, but there you go. I lied to you from the moment we met, but I meant every word I said when I gave you that mask. I think that you are someone with a moral compass that really can be trusted with being a hero. I think you deserve it more than I do, and I think that you're a better person than me, and I'm sorry for everything I did to you.
Can you roll me persuasion?
Yeah, I can roll persuasion. Sorry, I realized that was a very, jovial voice I did for that. Slightly tonally dissonant. 21.
All right. So I don't always do this, but I'm going to be a little bit transparent about the consequences of that check.
Yeah.
If you had rolled very badly, the next thing I would have said after seeing the number is roll initiative.
Yeah, that's... Even with a good roll, that's where I was bracing myself for.
Yeah. But with a 21, which remember is a very high score, 20 is considered perfect usually. You do not get sunshine and rainbows and a parade. He reaches into his kind of sack outfit with his scarf and pulls out Garrick's mask. And he hands it back to you.
I don't understand.
If you ain't who I thought you were, then I can't accept this. This was a gift between justice friends, and we ain't there anymore.
I can't make this right, but the least I can do is I can get you back your medallion.
We ain't there now, but I'm not saying we can't get there. I just need some time to think.
You and me both, bud. You and me both.
All right. Back with the party. Zoey, next to you, Lady Nim says, she's just floating there. She's like the tentacles have retracted into the book and back, and the sword is just a sword again. But Lady Nim is standing next to you, and she says, I'm not going to try to convince you. I know what kind of person you are. You felt bad even killing someone in self-defense. You're hopeless. I understand that. But I just want to tell you, face to face at least, that I will find someone who'll do it. If not you, if not Dora, someone else. Maybe not tomorrow, next week, years. It'll happen eventually. And when they do, and they bring this thing down, I will find everyone you've ever cared about. Your family, your friends, your neighbors. I will kill them all. I will burn your hometown to the ground. I will salt the earth so that nothing grows for 1,000 generations. They will stop marking that place on maps because it will cease to exist. That is my promise to you, Zoey Legrand.
Are you done?
Oh, I think I'm just getting started.
I want to cast haste on myself,
Okay.
and I want Zoe to run as quickly as she can to the sacrum.
Oh, by the way, wild magic.
It is technically wild magic, yes.
Wild magic time.
A 9?
What?
You fucking asshole.
Yes.
I have as 9. Oh man, I kind of want to take a screenshot of this, but you'll see the rest of them. 9 just says divine intervention.
Yes.
Ah!
Next time.
You're giving me too many things lately. You're all I need. You smiled at me and said, "Don't get me wrong, I love you. But does that mean I have to meet your father? When we are older, you'll understand what I meant when I said no. I don't think life is quite that simple. When you walk away, you don't hear me say,
As always, I'd like to thank Overclocked Remix for our theme music, including Acoustic Jam at the Lucifer Alpha, arrangement of Biohazard from Snatcher, and Destiny Forgotten, arrangement of Simple and Clean from Kingdom Hearts. Executive producers for Dice Funk for the month of September 2017 are Kerstine Haslinger, Jade, Extellaris, Joseph Timbrello, The Cult of Gorfanax, Dr. Goatman, Irving Royale, Ken Fursel, Andrew Grothin, Paul Mullen, Levi the Young, Luke Powers, Michael Goodell, Brent, Kevin Dobbins, Anthony Sauvier, Ziphosaurus, Elderly Goose, Salad Child, Sarah Stone, Thorsten Gross, Devin Smith, Caster UK, Aki Savalainen, Iso, The Paladin's Wife, Florian H., Charm Wilkie, Komano the Komenu, The Future Mr. and Mrs. Hadsel, Dominic Bowden, Melissa Nielsen, Dawn, Eugene T., Connor Reynolds, Sarah Likens, Pruitt Holcomb, Artemis BJJ, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in Bristol, Francois V, Shyness, Dennis Pancake Detlefson, Ripter Stormwolf, Miko from Finland, Dennis Bangston, Josh Mosier, and Dingo Van Dane, Allison Ansell, Sydney Marsing, Justa Jester, John Potts, Savardin Akrasimova, Brady Warner, Kitty Foe, James Neely, Marissa Donaldson, Melanie Joe, Lana Seawolf, Toby Gleason Stack, Ruby Offer, Matthew Weber, Sarah Hanley, Melissa Booker, Cameron Abbas, Dylan, Gary Sayon, Anna Stuhlfar, Sean, the host of Funk Dunk Plays, Giorgio Renna, Harrison Andrew, Kevin Seidlow, Christopher Charlo, Jorrit, Viger Arnston, Cody Jackson, August Rue, Athos, and Ingmar Gremmen. If you want to join this list and help support the show, you can find me at patreon.com/AustinYorsky. You can also find Chris at patreon.com/weeklymanga-recap, and you can help support Laura by finding her work at kotaku.co.uk. If you want to help support the show indirectly, you can always find us on YouTube, Podbean, Google Play, iTunes, and probably like 100 other places. And subscribe, comment, rate, share, or if you're listening to this in the far future, uploading it to your neural network. And if you're listening to this in the far, far, far future, I hope you're enjoying the HBO 2 adaptation of this season, although I think it's strange they cast Shia LaBeouf Jr. in the role as Robin. Not my first choice, but I respect the artistic integrity of our alien overlords, who, I hope, will be resurrecting me shortly so that we can record Season 8. the sex season.